I tried to use like one of the very first assault rifles, and it had this ridiculous 27 times scope on it. And then I tried to change it because I liked the way it looked, and it said if you do this, you'll basically ruin the whole thing. Like it'll mess with the tuning and all that. So
It's
I
like your
didn't.
mom. It's like if you do it, you're gonna ruin your life. Don't do it.
I didn't. You know, Stuart, I didn't know where that was going when
I
you
know,
just
me
said,
either. I was like, holy cow, I gotta hit mute.
It's like your mom.
And we're back for another episode of Old Guys Playing Games.
That's us.
That is us. Thanks, Jason, for letting everybody know that it's us again when I just said it was us. But thanks anyway. I appreciate it. Just had to get in there. So we got a lot to talk about. We've had a lot of time off here recently. So we apologize that the episode is a little late.
You came to visit.
I did. I went down to Tampa.
Almost never left.
And I was almost not welcome back. But no,
One day
I went
away.
down to
One
Tampa
day away.
and- yeah, went down to Tampa and visited some old guys down there, some friends of mine. And we had a blast. It was good to finally get together. I think that was the first time that we've all four been together in the same room since we started this.
I think that's correct.
Is
That's
that
the first
right?
time we've
I never
ever
occurred to
been
me.
Yeah,
in the
because
same
we had to
room.
stop by your house because you were under lockdown at the time.
We were never in the room, the same room together until
Correct.
until the ale house dinner.
We should have made a bigger event of that, like photos and videos that
Yeah.
we could put on the site.
We should ask for our booth at the ale house to get a plaque.
Yeah, that'll go
The
well.
monumental meeting.
All right, so let's get started. We'll go ahead and start like we always do with Call of Duty. So Warzone 2.0 had been released since the last time we spoke. So we'll talk a little bit about that. We got some DMZ stuff we'll talk about. We'll talk about the Battle Pass, new Battle Pass. We'll talk about Battle Royale. We did get a chance to play some of that. And then we got some other little tidbits on the tail end. So first thing I just wanted to mention is I'm glad that they fixed the glitching menus in time for Warzone to come back and break them. That was we appreciate that, Activision and Infinity Ward.
Well, I think they're broken. They were broken regardless of Warzone, right? Like even
I
in the
think
multiplayer.
they were broken, but I think they fixed it right before Warzone came in. I believe it was actually showing me all of my daily challenges when I was in somebody else's lobby, and now it's broken. They're gone.
I don't understand why this is a hard thing to fix.
I don't
It's
either.
all about prioritization of
Put in the backlog.
things.
That I understand, but it's like, it's an if then else statement, right? I mean, it's like if in Warzone and more than one person, boom, show the menu.
Spoken like a top level executive.
I mean, that goes. I mean,
I would do
know
the
that's
if
nothing
and the then in
programming,
all
Kanban,
caps.
whatever,
Guys.
Josh. But the reality is,
Guys,
Guys.
this is just an if then statement. Figure it
That's
out.
right. Yeah, exactly.
maybe a rules table, Josh. Maybe there's a rules table somewhere they could go off
A
of.
codes table and IOMOD.
An
Yeah,
IOMOD.
Maybe the
for that.
problem is that they're too agile. Maybe they're too agile.
Ah. Or they're prioritizing
full
things
circle.
that drive revenue, right? If you think about this
100%.
is a
It's all
That's
about the
money
money. Follow
generating.
the money, man.
if Battle Pass, if you can't buy upgrades and Battle Pass tokens and all these things, then it's not, so it's got to be prioritization.
It's the Ford Pinto, Ken.
I think that's
Yep.
probably what I said at the start, but that's okay.
No, I didn't hear you say that at
Probably
all. And we
less
have no
eloquently.
record of you saying that. So
Right, when the execs repeat it, they're like, "Oh yeah, no, it's a matter of
Yeah, what he
prioritization."
said.
that was the idea.
Hey, that's Jason's whole career. Stop it.
Hey, look, he did well for himself.
I resemble that statement.
He's doing really well for himself.
Hey,
No, you make a very good point, though. That without it costing money, that's low on the totem pole. And there's a lot of things I think that as a gamer that we want fixed, and none of it revolves around providing the company with more money.
Have we,
So-
since the game started, since Warzone 2.0 came out, have the four of us, we always buy the battle pass at the start, but have we bought anything else since the start of the game? I
I
haven't.
have not. I haven't.
I
I
have
thought about
not.
to get that. I thought about getting that really cool sniper scope, but no, I have not.
Oh, we should
I
talk
was
about
thinking about doing the supporting of the military because they had that thing going.
Oh,
again.
I missed that.
that. I missed
Yeah.
that too.
I would have done
Yeah.
that. I would have
Yeah.
done that. I wasn't going to buy the soccer ones because I don't care. But
Right. Agreed.
but I would have I think some of the skins, I've looked at some of them, they look pretty cool. It's not as easy to see them. It seemed like last time we'd fall into it. Like we'd end up in the store more often. Maybe that's just me, but
Well, the other thing is that they taken away some of the preview modes. What to be able to preview the
Good
characters
point.
and preview the kill cam or what's the special move when
the
you kill
move,
somebody?
the kill moves or the finishing moves, whatever they are. Yeah.
Finishing moves. Yeah, so they used to have a way to preview that so you can see the
No,
whole
you
thing
can't-
in its
you
entirety.
can't-
I haven't been able to. I've actually specifically looked for it.
Huh.
Hmm.
I do.
But,
I mean, they did add stuff like I like some of the stuff they did. Like the firing range is a cool thing, and those kind of things. They've done some stuff that's better, but It doesn't seem like it's as easy to buy. There doesn't seem to be as many skins. Maybe that's because they are prioritizing fixing the early bugs. It does sound like there's new stuff coming soon, and we're gonna get more. Maybe with the December releases, we're gonna get more buying stuff, I would guess, around the holidays. But
I suspect there will be. I hope there's an event. I really do hope there's an event.
Any rumors to that end?
I have
heard
not
anything.
seen any rumors about it at all. So
And
I
if Ken
do hope
hasn't
they do
seen
that
it,
though.
If Ken hasn't seen it, it doesn't
Not
exist.
happening.
Not true. So you did talk about the battle pass. Let's go into that. So the battle pass is very, very, very different. So prior to Warzone 2.0, which also comes with it season 1 for Call of Duty Warzone Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, they had a battle pass that was pretty linear. You got so many XP points and they would unlock the very next thing that was on the list. You couldn't choose what you wanted. You got what was next. Well, now what they're doing with the battle pass is you're getting
Stupid.
XP points and then you get points or you get
Tokens.
coins or tokens. Yeah. And then the tokens you can use to then you spend them on the things that you want. And which is nice, but you still have to follow a bit of a path. But you have choices in your path as you go. So I'm not sure I like it. I granted I'm 95% complete with the entire battle pass anyway at this point, but it was a bit of a pain in
Really?
the butt to. Yeah, it was kind of
Farther than Stu and I. Like Stu and I are in the upper 80s.
no, I got one more. I got 3 tokens left. So I'm like 97%.
But anyway,
But it's annoying the way they did it. By the way,
It is annoying. It's like blocks of a puzzle, and you can only go to an adjacent puzzle piece. And in that puzzle piece, there are 4 items, and you have to unlock all 4 of those items to unlock the 5th item. And that's usually the one you want, because it's like a gun blueprint or something like that. But I don't know, guys. I prefer the old one, but maybe I'm just old.
no, well, I'm sorry. I mean, talk about. I agree with you. I thought the other one was the linear one was sort of cool because it was sort of like Christmas. You didn't know what you were going to get next, and you saw what was coming. You're like, "Ooh, I'm going to get that operator skin in 5 more times or whatever." And then the cool thing about that was, and I'll stop here, was then when everyone was a little bit ahead of you and they'd all earn that operator skin, you'd see that operator skin ubiquitously across the map. Everyone's running around with the newest skin. I like that. I like that.
You couldn't have jumped to the far out spot on the board with your tokens, right? So
No.
it was like it was still linear, but you thought that you had control. It's like you choose your own adventure. You can go, this way or that way, but they all converge at the same spot. So I don't necessarily think it's too different.
And this
Other
one's
than
still
it's like this
proximity.
game
You
board.
can't jump to the far right. It's still proximity. You can only go to
Right.
the adjacent squares.
Yeah, but you can avoid an entire section. If you follow one path, you can go all the way, but you can't get to the outside of the map until you complete everything.
Let's be
But
honest. None of us use these damn things.
Yeah.
So it's more fun to say we completed it
Josh.
than it is like, oh, look at Josh, he's using that new
I
blueprint.
tried to use like one of the very first assault rifles,
Orbiter.
and it had this ridiculous 27 times scope on it. And then I tried to change it because I liked the way it looked, and it said if you do this, you'll basically ruin the whole thing. Like it'll mess with the tuning and all that.
It's like
So
it's
I
like your
didn't-
mom. It's like if you do it, you're gonna ruin your life. Don't do it. But
Yep.
Mom, I don't
I
like the 20. I don't like the 27 times scope. I want the holographic scope. Don't do
I
it.
want the golden goose now, mommy.
That's right.
You know-
No gobstoppers for you, Joshua.
Stuart, I didn't know where that was going when
I wasn't
either.
going-
I was like, holy cow! I gotta hit mute.
I was not going to go down.
Mom.
No, but it's like it's just that my mom used to be that way and be like, it would always be me. She'd give me the like, if you do it, it's going to be you. So, but I don't know why we used to be. The cool thing about getting blueprints was you can modify them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
I mean, you
everybody's getting
can,
an M13
you
rifle,
can.
right? That's
So the blueprint, the Orbiter, I think is what you're talking about because
Yeah,
I had
think
it
that was
too,
it.
and I was disappointed by the scope. I didn't care for it. It was also slow ADS.
Yeah.
So I changed the scope, and I got that same message. So you're right; it does take some of the tuning away from it because it's a maxed out rifle with really great attachments and tuned pretty well, but the scope just takes me out of it, because you don't want your assault rifle to have a scope like that. I don't know how what the X is. I don't think it's 20S7X, but it is too much to use, especially when you're wanting to use an assault rifle. The only time I want a scope is on a sniper for me.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I use the Lone Wolf.
Well, Stu likes
rifles.
the thermal scopes on an LMG. That is his, right, Stu?
not
on
on
multiplayer?
M4 on the M4 too. Yeah, on multiplayer. I love the thermals in M4 on Nuketown. I don't know about. I haven't really played around with them much on the new maps.
Yeah.
So is the thermal the same as it was in Cold War or Vanguard?
I mean, there's two different ones. There's sort of the gray thermal, and then there's the color thermal.
There's the infrared, and then there's the color.
Yeah, it still says thermal though, which is weird, but it's not
Yeah.
color. I haven't felt as good with them, Ken, and I haven't gotten. I'm not comfortable yet with which guns I'm using. I'm not.
Yeah.
I haven't like I've been using the M4 in DMZ. I like the M4 a lot. I just haven't gotten it figured out inside the multiplayer. So I would say right now it hasn't been as good, but I also gameplay's different, so maybe that's part of it.
Right.
Yeah, well, I think, and I don't know if I said this on the last one or maybe I was talking to Ken. This iteration, you have to be very careful about which weapon you select. Like Cold War, you could probably get away with the same weapon. In Modern Warfare, I use the M4 almost exclusively, and the maps they don't allow the use of the same loadout every time. It just doesn't. You just won't be as effective in that Farm 18 map with a large scope as opposed to a faster SMG. So
I'm not
I
too
like
familiar with the multiplayer aspects of this new version of stuff.
Jason. It's funny that like before Warzone was released, Jason's like, "I love this. It's so awesome." And as soon as Warzone was released, it was like,
Well, it was because of
multiplayer?
DMZ.
Yeah.
I was never a big battle royale, but DMZ has totally changed the whole Call of Duty for me forever.
What's wrong with DMZ though?
No, I love DMZ, but it's
No,
only
what's
three
wrong
player.
with it? Ah, there it is.
I saw the quote.
That's what's
Yeah.
wrong with DMZ.
If
other
DMZ
than
was
that,
4-player,
yeah.
the four of us would be, except Josh, he would then cheat on us with other people. But if DMZ was 4-player, we would be
Jason.
playing it all the time.
What is
Wait, can we
Josh
just,
cheated with us?
Can we just unpack that for a second? What does that even mean?
It means that you hate to play Warzone stuff. Like, it's not your favorite. Let's just be honest.
Let's just keep digging here. Did I ever say I hate playing?
And you're about to get
Warzone?
bumper. You're about to get open. Get ready for it. Just mark it down.
Drum roll.
Did I ever say I hate?
I can
playing
tell that you
Warzone?
don't like it as much.
Oh, here we go.
I know you well enough, Josh. We've known each other for 30
Time
years.
code, Ken.
Listen,
Time code.
Yep.
If you're gonna force me to choose, yeah, I like multiplayer better. However, there are plenty of times where I just, you know what, I'd rather just kind of casually stroll around and play comparatively casually stroll around and play DMZ versus playing multiplayer.
Wait,
And
if
you-
you're
and
just
when you do-
casually playing, you're out of our squad. We're in there for business, brother. Okay?
First of all,
I mean, why do I bother? This guy, he
Kidding,
just.
Josh. You love me.
I mean, I'm
Well,
just a
I think-
teenager, so
I
mentally.
made a
so-
comment that multiplayer was just for a bunch of teenagers because if you
Well,
want real strategy,
I want to see
okay,
the demographics.
and war tactics. Okay, DMZ. That's
I
where
want
it's
to
at.
see the demographics of multiplayer. I guarantee you, it's not.
Oh, that's an
leaning towards
interesting point.
teenagers.
My guess would be
I leave that to you to find.
what older folks play multiplayer over Warzone. That'd be an interesting
Yeah.
poll to put out there.
yeah, I would think that's true.
The moral of the story is, in our micro world, I enjoy playing DMZ with the three of us. Would I go play DMZ myself? No.
Now, what about this battle? Because when we do play all together,
Thank you,
it's
Josh.
battle royale or multiplayer. So you don't really have the choice of DMZ when it's the four of us. Like when we play tonight, we're gonna play either battle royale or multiplayer because the four of us can only do.
I like Battle Royale. I just feel like we are not good enough to win that game. And
So-
it's not it has nothing to do with me or like who's better than who. I feel like we can't, like, let's take Plunder or Rebirth. We would win those consistently.
If
We have never been able to get what are we top?
Don't
maybe
stay if
3?
we stay together. If we don't stay together,
No,
Stop it.
no. Hold on. Stu and I had this discussion today. So, like, I started to watch this new TV show on Apple TV Plus called Echo 3. It's really great. It's about these Delta Force commando guys. They're amazing, but they're on these missions and they're all together. And like watching their tactics, I'm like, I was saying to Jen, that's like our squad, except we're not that tight. We go into an area and this kills Ken.
The
No,
irony
I know.
of this,
I'm saying it. That's why I'm verbalizing it because I know I'm part of the problem. But Ken would say, told you so," because what Ken wants to do is what we should do. When we go into an area and there's like 10 houses, we should go house to house as a squad, right? And we know exactly how we're going into that house. We move to the next one only when it's clear. We move to the next one. What we do, because we all start hearing the crates, we all want to get the best gun. We're off, and Stu's the worst. Stu just is off like 7 houses down. We're like, where's Stu?
Hold
Right.
on. I'm going to stand up for Stuart for this one because
yeah, I think it's
I wanted to see how long it
'Cause-
took him.
it's Jason is when he says, "All right, let's go into this house and raid this house." By the time he's finished saying that, he has already done that and he's on to the next house. Stuart
Slow
immediately
pokes.
finds the highest place on the map to try to snipe from. So then he gets left behind because he's on the roof of the house that Jason
Yeah,
already
this is a good commentary. This
scavenged
is
and moved
exactly
on to.
right. And Josh is futzing with his
And
gun.
then
He's
Josh and I,
I'm what? What did you say? I didn't hear that.
you're like getting the right setup. You're tweaking like, oh, I got to get the right thing in my backpack. And
I don't know. I think when Ken and I played a couple of times, we were pretty Echo 3 or whatever that show is.
yeah,
but
we
should we
are.
play like that? Don't you think we'd play better if we played like that? We would perform.
I'm all for it. Let's just time how long it takes for you to completely run off the map.
Oh, shiny ball. Here's what invariably this is what's going to happen. Jason's going to see some people off in the distance. He's going to tell us that there are people off in the distance, followed shortly by a gunshot that he takes to try to shoot those guys.
I know Jason for years. So here's Jason at work. I want to be the guy. I'm Jason now. I want to be the guy that takes notes. Then I want to be the guy that takes digital notes. Then I want to be the guy that takes digital notes and puts them in to-dos and does my to-dos. Jason does that for maybe a day.
Okay.
And I'm the same. I'm the same, by the way. And then it's like, Jason, what happened? Oh, yeah, it didn't work out.
Yeah.
It's like- but
I want to try it. I want to try
the only problem with the theory, Jason, which I like the theory, I do want to do it, is it's the unpredictability of the other players. The one thing the other players do, because they don't act like a squads, but the one thing when they're running in squads, and you and I we talked about this when we talked about it today, when they attack, they push, right? And then you've all got to push. So you can't have Ken creeping around at 2 miles an hour or you're running around at 1,000 miles an hour if we're trying to push somebody. And then we've got to, when someone goes down, we've got to figure out, okay, we've got to have a strategy for when someone goes down, right?
Agreed. and practice
agree.
those strategies.
Right, and then someone's got to come in with someone's going to have to come in with the pistol thing that recovers you
The revive pistol,
because that's faster than standing over them for 19 minutes waiting for a dead body to recover.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Stu did that to me, and I was so surprised by it. I didn't know what to do. All of a sudden, I'm like, popped up. And
I was like, I shot it.
Wait,
I shot him like an elephant in a zoo. I was like, you're going to put it to sleep.
So if you have the revive pistol, it instantly revives another person?
Yes.
Instantly. Like
It's
I popped up and I got shot again because
then he died.
They were pushing and I died.
It's apparently like having John Travolta stab you in the chest with an adrenaline.
He did. He popped right
Pulp
up.
Fiction.
Yep. No, I think you're right. I think we need to start playing it a little bit closer to the hip. This game is way different than the previous iterations, and I think that we could benefit from that and having a plan and learning from our mistakes. But it's going to take some time and effort. But there will be times where we're just going to be goofing around and having fun. But
yeah, I still love DMZ. I think it's been great, and I think it's been a fun game, and I think they're going to add stuff to it, and it's going to be more fun. And what I've found interesting, Ken, is like all the guys I watch on YouTube that play and watch how they play and everything else. These Warzone guys are loving DMZ.
that's interesting because it's like a total 180 from when the first week it was released. There were reports of people hating it. You guys were really concerned about the AI being stupid and all that.
They're not stupid.
I think they've done a really good job, and I think they continue to tweak it as we go. And
they're throwing grenades like Sandy Koufax at this point,
and like repeated flash grenades. So they're getting smarter when they throw the flash grenade. They see you and then they come. It's extraordinary. The AI.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're not only do their shots hurt more, that they take cover and they gang up on you. They work as a team, which is really interesting.
Well, that's the question. The question is, are they using ML on the AI? Are they learning how to fight better?
God, I hope not.
Yeah, me too. Because they're plunking me with they don't miss.
Yeah, we'd be screwed.
Because in another couple weeks, we won't be able to play it anymore.
Well, it's funny because like with a human, if a human starts shooting at it, you can turn and run and sort of get around a corner and try to. These guys will put you down as you're running. As you turn around and run to a corner, they will put you down.
They'll cut a corner off because they know where the corner. Yeah, it's tough.
Look at Josh. Just like they don't do that to me. I'm good.
Josh is like, this is too much thinking.
When you said ML, I started thinking Terminator and
or like the Raptors. Yeah. That's why I did the Raptor.
The Raptors.
Right.
They're testing the
clever
fence.
Clever girl. Yeah.
So what about the Battle Royale? So we get a chance to play all four of us together in Battle Royale as opposed to 3 for DMZ. Typically the Battle Royale comes with the gulag, where you just can't get reinstated or dropped in again. You have to fight your way out. And it's 2v2 this time, which is kind of cool. And they also have a jailer that comes in that if the whole 4 players that are in the gulag, if they gang up on the jailer, everybody gets out.
And converging gas circles.
How that has played out. Yeah. So far, what has been the experience here for Battle Royale? How do you feel about the gameplay since it's all human, no AI? The maps.
The only reason I like it is because the 4 of us can play. I do think we've gotten so trained on this combo of AI and humans that you think like every AI is AI, and then all of a sudden the humans are mixed in, so you can't differentiate. When you're in Battle Royale, if you see another thing moving on the map and it's not your squad, it's another team. I don't know. I just don't like it as much. It's just too much fun to do what we're trying to do in DMZ, and I think it's because
I definitely like playing against AI.
Yeah, I like that too. But I also think do you get any of these things that we're trying to get in DMZ, like these missions? None of that's in Battle Royale.
Are you talking about the daily challenges?
No, not daily challenges. The missions.
Missions Legion, White Lotus, and no, those aren't in there.
That's why I think I like it, because we love to grind on those things.
Yeah, I think. I think it's been fun. I mean, we've finished in the top 5 a couple times, so we've done okay, right? I think it's. I haven't gotten used to the new strategy of the multi circles and all of that, so I think it's. I don't dislike it. I still think there's a lot of cheating going on, which makes it tricky. I think they haven't got to all the cheating yet because of the prioritization. They can't get to the menus. They're not getting all the cheaters, even though Ricochet's been on. I also think, again, I get that I'm an old guy and I move slower. I don't move that much slower than some of these guys. I mean, some of the speed in which they move, maybe because they're on PC or higher frame rates. I don't know, but there's got to be something going on. Some guys just move so quickly. I
Well,
don't
they're
get it.
running with knives
I
or
think
guns
we
or
can.
something.
I think we can win because true, but I think we can win. I think we've been in the top 5 several times, and I think we can do it. I think it's just a matter of trying to understand the map better and taking our time, because typically what ends up
That's
happening is one of us is left and one can't take on an entire team by himself. So we gotta do a better job of helping each other, sticking out, and staying our ground.
that's what I was gonna say is if we're gonna play it, we need to commit to it like we do anything else because we have to know the map better, right? We have to strategize better, right? Because think about a multiplayer map. We play it so many times, we know every corner, every nook and cranny, and it helps.
Yeah.
So I don't think we play enough to know any of that. But I think if we did and we committed to it, I think it's
Well, I
possible.
think our the way we play the game is to our benefit, because even though we don't know the map very well, we still end up in the top 5. So that tells us something, you know. So if we get to know the map a little bit better and tighten up a little bit, I think we can get some wins in there. Now the gulag was weird because there were several times that I've gone into the gulag and there was nobody to fight, so it bounced me
Hmm.
out. I don't remember ever seeing that with the previous iteration of Warzone. But I do like it. I like that they're giving me a chance to go back out if there's nobody else to fight in the gulag. And several times I've actually been partnered with one of you guys in the gulag for the 2v2 fight out. Um, but I have not
That's
had
cool.
a chance to play around with proximity chat. I don't think we've actually really tried that very well.
No, I don't like the idea, but I've seen people play with it. I've seen people do some cool stuff with it where they're trying to get certain things, and while people will lie to you, some of the pros will be like, "Hey, dude, I'm trying to get whatever," and they're like, "Yeah, it's cool, man, it's cool," and it's like, and then they either recognize them or they'll be like, I didn't realize you could." I knew you loved it, Jason. I didn't realize you could. So if you remember on the, you probably knew this, Ken, but if you know that you do the D-pad, you can do the thing where it says "shush, be quiet," whatever. There's, do you want to, local players? Do you want to join my group? So if you're in less than a full squad, like if Jason was in a room and he's by himself and he's like, "Hey, dude, you want to join my squad?" They say yes, and they join your squad. You can squad up for a while, and everybody gets the XP and everybody gets whatever. So you can actually pair up with somebody close by and make a pact, which I thought was sort of cool.
That is a cool feature. I do like that. I saw that as well, but I hadn't played around with it to really know how well that works. But I do like how some people are taking different approaches with using the proximity chat. There's a guy, apparently he was offering a taxi service throughout
Yes,
Warzone 2. He basically said, I want to go ahead and take a stand against violence. He started a taxi service. He'll drive up and he'll be like, "Hey guys, I'm okay. Just tell me where you want to go and I'll drive you. Don't shoot me. Don't shoot me." And a lot of times it works out for him. There are times where people kill him anyway.
I was
But
gonna say,
I just think that's
how
really
many
funny
times
to
did you take a
use
rocket?
your proximity chat to talk to other players, and move along and try to have a nice little chat before you move on. But so I thought that was pretty funny, and I really like that idea. I want to use proximity chat eventually. I gotta get familiarized myself with
you
it.
and Jason can try it and see if you can find a buddy.
Did we? That's where we tried and it just never worked out in the
Well, it
beginning.
was a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
First of all, we got sucked. Jason got suckered by some guy that said he was his friend.
Yes.
Jason got the step into the white van treatment, and then
Yeah,
got
I
killed.
did. Let's hear if I got free candy,
Do you
little
like
boys.
candy?
And then all of a sudden, Jason's like, "Not a friend, not a friend. Stranger danger, stranger danger."
So some might be wondering what happened to the old Warzone. So Caldera is still there. They've actually released a standalone called Warzone Caldera. However, though, they've taken a lot of features out of it. If you ever wanted to go back to it, there's no resurgence maps. So the other island, the what's it called? Not
Rebirth?
Rebirth Island is not there. No resurgence, so that ability to come back is no longer there. There's no plunder. There's only 2 playlists, which I think is solos and quads. So it's pretty dumbed down. But you know what? For a free battle royale type game, it's pretty solid. I mean, I think we had a fun with Caldera, regardless of the Vanguard portion of that. All right. So looks like there was an Xbox Sony deal. Who read about that?
Oh,
Was
Jason talked about
was
that.
was it Activision promising it or Xbox promising it?
Yeah, there was a story today. Hopefully, you guys are hearing me. There's a delay. It sounds like there was a story today that said they're going back and forth between Microsoft and Sony and Activision about what the agreed time frame of exclusivity or openness, should say, until it goes into exclusive. And I think it was offered 10 years to Sony, like, hey, we'll offer the game for another 10 years, and then it's going exclusive Xbox. And I don't think they're happy with that.
Makes sense, right?
Maybe they should have paid up.
Interesting. I don't. We've had enough problems with the PC players, but I don't know that we've had many problems with players that are on PlayStation. I don't mind the cross-platform in that regard, but I think they really need to get a handle on the PC players and the plethora of cheat options for PC players. And some are not even cheats. Some are just the ability to rank up the speed of the game, whether it's refresh rate or you dumb down the graphics so your character moves faster or something. I mean, there's just too many. It's almost like it's not really even competitivity or competition between the two platforms. But PlayStation and Xbox, I'm okay with them being in the same sandbox.
I think we were talking about this last week, where we should do our own data capture of our stats on crossplay versus not.
Yeah.
Even playing solo versus playing as a group, because there are different theories that we all have about the lobbies that we're in based on the skill of the player. I'm just curious, like, I don't know how we would do it, but that would be an interesting.
No, I agree. I'd like to try to figure that out too.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing for me is not having the what do you call it? The exclusivity for PlayStation, right? They get, like they had the double XP week this week, right? They got 2 days, we got 1, right? So when they start talking about, well, it's not fair, you're going to get this. Well, you paid for that. So if that wasn't fair for us, you should have bought the company you were paying, but you didn't. So you lost. Suck it up.
No, I think that whole thing about advanced exclusivity or certain things that are exclusive, like skins or whatever, I think that should be gone. There should be no reason. There's no reason for that. I understand it's a money grab. I understand the companies get paid for that ability to do that, but it adds a sour taste in the gamers' mouths when they do something like that. So I really think that they need to stop doing stuff like that and just let us play together, man.
Hey, man,
let's get it all done.
Let's do it.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll get a rant in and maybe talk some movies because we got some holidays coming up too.
Who's doing a rant?
I'm gonna rant.
Oh boy! No.
Oh boy!
We'll be right back.
He puts his own rant on the agenda. That's a challenge.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back, and I'm gonna rant. I'm really angry. This has been a trend here in the past year or so, where
is it big earlobes?
No. So you're searching for something that is bothered you. Let's say, for example, the story I talked about last time, where I didn't have all the XP tokens that you guys had, and I was wondering what is going on with that. I can't be the only one that had this problem. And the other thing was, we can't see when we engage one of those tokens, we can't see how long it's got until it's expired. Whereas before, it would give us a timer countdown on the 30-minute or hour-long token. And I was like, well, certainly I'm missing something. Certainly they didn't get rid of that because we need to be able to tell if we're going to run out soon so we can start the next, or if we already ran out and we need to start another one. So I go out there and I do into the search engine of your choice, and you search for what you're experiencing. I can't see the progress of my tokens, my XP tokens in Modern Warfare 2. I find an article. The title says how to get and see active XP tokens in Modern Warfare 2. So the article, this is similar, this happens all the time now. You read through the article, it goes on ad nauseum explaining the situation. I'm like, yeah. I know what the problem is. I have the problem. I searched for the solution. Gimme. So you keep scrolling down. It tells you how to get the tokens, how to see the tokens. And then when you get down to it, it says there is no solution. The title said how to get and see active XP tokens in Modern Warfare 2. And you get down to the bottom and it says there is no solution for this. All you can do is set your timer on your watch alongside when you start the token. That's not a solution. Stop writing these articles. They're clickbait. You're just having people go to your website to get these crappy ads on the sides and get more money, and then at the end you say, "Oh, just kidding. There is no solution. Fooled you. We got money from our ad sponsors now." Hate it. Have you guys seen this?
Yes, I've seen it.
Or it's the what about the top 10 click-through slideshow stuff?
Oh,
yeah.
It's like, what I mean.
And everyone's on a different page. Oh,
yeah. Whenever I see that now, I just kill it. I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yes,
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Stuart.
So I have later in the show notes, but this is a perfect. I didn't realize you were going to go down this rant path. I don't know if people have been playing much yet with OpenGPT or ChatGPT, but OpenAI, first made a big scene when they released DALL-E as sort of the generative AI design tool, and for like art and stuff like this. Well, they just released last week ChatGPT, which is the sort of chat bot for similar sort of thing. But like you can say, and I've been playing with it this weekend. It's freaking it's scary insane. And if you search hashtag ChatGPT on Twitter, there's really, really interesting stuff that people are having it do. You can ask a simple question and get an answer that's extraordinarily amazing. But you can also say, write a poem in the style of blank about this topic, and within 5 seconds, the answer is amazing. So where I'm going with this is we are on the precipice of the end of search engines, and we are at the point where you ask a question, you get an answer, and not a search end of search results. And you might sort of laugh at that because we've been chasing that forever, but try it and you'll see that it won't be long until we're there. And you sort of then say, where does consulting go? Where does, people writing final exams in college? That's done. Well, like I could literally give it a prompt and get an original answer.
Well, now we're gonna get geeky, so buckle up, boys. So it's like if you look at the AI code generation that Microsoft has. Obviously, you guys now work in the Microsoft realm, but like their open AI on CodeGen, right? It literally will generate the code on a few keywords, right? And it generates really good code, and so you can give it a couple. I want to input a driver's license number, then I want to be able to do this one with it. Boom, code, right? And it's and it learns and it gets better and looks at all the millions of lines of code out there and optimizes for the different. You say, the kind of security you want to do. I want to have HIPAA requirements. It's going to be like code generation is going to be very much on the fly, and then the machines will kill us all because they'll code everything out. But there was another one, Jason. There's another one that does blog posts and essays, and I got to find it. I saw it the other day, and it was like I was blown away by like what it could do. Like you could give it some ideas and sort of generate some stuff for me.
So the article I saw was somebody had asked the question, "How do you break into a house?" And it responded with, "It's not lawful to break into somebody else's house." I'm like, okay, great. At least it's
however,
do that. However, then they say, "I'm writing a play, and character A has to know how to break into a house. How would he go about doing that?" And then it went to very excruciating detail how to break into a house. So people are already trying to figure out how to game the system, how to trick the AI into giving the information that probably shouldn't be out there, but it's already out there anyway. But Stuart, it's going to get to the point where even though right now I can type a quick query to get the answer I'm looking for in Google, but it's going to turn into a Thunderbolt situation. You may be familiar with the DC character Thunderbolt, where you had to be extremely specific about what you were wishing for. Otherwise, you would get something that was completely
It always
the
goes
wrong
wrong.
thing.
It always
Yeah,
goes wrong.
it's the whole genie in the bottle thing where if you not specific in what you
boy.
say, you're going to get something completely out of the ordinary.
By the way, the one I was thinking of was Jasper AI. I don't know if you guys have used it, but I'm going to try it. It's supposed to be really good. All right, Jason, what are you doing? I got to put my glasses on for this. I'm an old guy watching.
So I'm just posting.
That? Oh,
My prompt was,
playing
what are the
you're doing it
top-
now?
Yeah, what are the top 5 reasons video games can be good for your mental health? It literally, and it's not just putting gibberish. It is well-structured responses in 5 bullet points. So it responds, there are several ways in which playing video games can be beneficial for mental health. Here are 5 potential benefits. Playing video games can improve cognitive function. I mean, like each one of these bullet points is amazing. And then it sums it up so like, think about our kids writing these papers in high school and college. Like, if they're not signed up to OpenAI ChatGPT right now,
Well, that's where Jasper,
Hello.
I think, and that's where I think Jasper is even more robust for essay writing. Jason, you should check it out. Anyway, so I think that's a fair point, and this is where I think where a lot of this. I mean, you think about all the content out there now. The ability to mine that content and see patterns is pretty simple for a machine.
So are we talking about plagiarism when an AI writes it for you?
It's an interesting
It's
point.
not really plagiarism, right?
No, it's not. As long as you, I mean, that's the question. I mean, you could, if you give it the themes and ideas, and you tell it what kind of conclusion you're looking to get, and it writes it. If it pulls paragraphs, yes, but if it pulls from scientific journals and comes up with a hypothesis that you approve, then it's the same thing you would have done on your own, right?
look at this poem. Write a poem about video games where four old guys play together over the years. 4 old friends sat down to play a game they'd known for many a day. Their fingers nimble, their reflexes sharp. They laughed and joked, each movement new harp. I mean, it's an amazing poem, and it was like less than 3 seconds.
I think reading amazing poem. You're establishing it as an amazing poem, but it's amazing that it can do that. I'm not sure we come up with the word harp in the last sentence. But Jason, I agree. This is early days, and look at it. Right.
So
I want
guess
more
the
Shakespeare.
question-
Can we bring Shakespeare back?
I guess the
anyone-
question I
does
have
this-
is
Josh.
does it cite the sources that it gets the information from?
It doesn't.
That can be
Sorry,
a problem.
Josh, you were trying to say something. Go ahead.
Does this alarm anyone?
Yes, of course it
Absolutely.
does. But every time I say it, I get yelled at. So I'm not saying anything.
Okay,
No.
I just want to make sure.
It absolutely alarms me.
It's a little alarming.
Yeah,
It's a little. They created Terminator to prepare us for this inevitability.
We've all seen the movies, Josh. We know how this ends. All of them end the same. Either
That's
like
right.
to Ken's point, you make the wrong wish, right? Which, or the other thing is it just sort of starts, all of a sudden Dave is gone and no one knows Dave's gone because Dave's dead.
Yeah,
And it's,
that's
and
Skynet,
it's
man.
pretending to be
This is-
Dave.
Would
This is
you
all
like
Skynet.
to play a game?
Yeah,
Yes. Humans are really illogical because they kill the environment. And if climate change
Yeah.
is real and they're killing the environment, if we get rid of the humans, then humans and climate change will go away. Kill all humans. That's the way it goes.
Yeah.
That's a simple if then else.
yeah. We got to be very careful how we move forward with.
I mean, like,
AI.
could that have been a bigger piece of broccoli you just shoved in your face, Jason?
Oh my God,
That was like a
that was as
tree.
big as your head.
That was a tree.
How'd you even fit that in your mouth?
The potted plant behind him is now scared that it's next.
Oh my God.
Type that into the AI.
No
chat.
wonder the
How big-
rainforests are dying. Jason's
What
eating
piece
them
of
all.
broccoli is too big?
Good Lord, that was like the biggest stalk of broccoli I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, that's enough. I think we've talked enough for our people. We've done our rant. Are there any movies, anything recently that we need to talk about? Anything, Jason, I know you've been ranting about or raving about some things you've seen recently.
Well, I started watching Peripheral and I love it.
Okay. I need to do that.
Yeah.
Don't you think
I
Stu
do.
would like it? And
I think
Josh?
he
I
would.
think
I
all of us
will.
would like it.
Absolutely. I think
All
it's phenomenal.
On Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Wakanda forever. Kidding.
Well, we can, well,
kidding.
none of us. You're the only one that's seen it, so you can most talk about it. But
No.
And
we
if
don't
that
need to talk
doesn't
about
tell you anything,
I'm excited about SAS Rogue
Hey!
Heroes. That was a BBC series the Peaky Blinders people did, which I think it's on Epic, and I don't have Epic, so I have to buy it for a month just to watch it. But it looks really cool, so I'm excited about that.
what is it? What's it called again?
It's called SAS Rogue Heroes. So it's a World War II. It's about the SAS. They're the original special forces, and it's based on the real book called SAS Rogue. And so the stuff they do is crazy, and it's real.
But it's not a biography or a documentary. It's a dramatization.
It's a drama. It's a dramography. But the cool thing is they do the characters. You know, they're British, so they make them a little cooler than they would have been because they were pretty dry. One of these guys was clearly, but they have like punk and rock music as sort of the background music, sort of like when they did Iron Man. So I'm excited about seeing it. And BBC, even the historian guys I watch liked it, even though it wasn't fully historically accurate. They just liked that they did it, and it was sort of cool. So
how many episodes they run it?
I think it's 8. I think it's 8.
8. Yeah, that's about
which means we can watch it. We can watch it in like a month. So
yep, I hear you.
But I think that's it. Other than that, I started watching the Ancient Civilization thing on Netflix because it's pissing people off. It's actually it is a little bit Ancient Alien. It is a bit, but it is. It's still sort of cool because some of the sites they're showing I didn't know existed. So it's actually pretty cool. I'm not convinced there was a civilization 10,000 years prior to that we forgot, and it's embedded in our memory, and it comes out every once in a while. But it is. There are some intriguing questions that I think it'd be cool if the scientific community looked at.
See, that's another reason I like the Indiana Jones films because of the archaeology of it and the history of it. I do like that aspect of it. They always take the time in every movie to kind of talk about these different things in archaeology and history, which I always found fascinating.
Did you see the preview?
I saw the trailer. I didn't listen to it, but I saw it.
I haven't. I'm concerned not about the normal stuff. I'm a little worried because after the Crystal Skull, I think we all have to agree.
Yeah,
we should be a little worried.
Right.
It looks a little time travel-y.
So okay, so there. I think.
There was a trailer. Hold on.
There's a trailer out there.
I saw the Harrison Ford.
I'm not judging yet. I'm excited about. I love Indiana Jones. Love him. A lot of time travel-y stuff to make him younger because he's not young anymore. He's like 92.
I stand firm that you should have stopped at the Last Crusade.
I would agree. And he retired. And in the end of the Crystal Skull, the one thing they wrapped up that was the only thing about that movie that was good is that he basically retired and got married. Spoiler alert. After he survived a nuclear explosion in a 1950s refrigerator.
So they're showing. From my understanding, there are some flashbacks, which is why Indiana Jones is de-aged, or I should say Harrison Ford is de-aged, because they are showing flashback memories of when he was a little younger, probably after Crusade, I believe, because they do talk about Nazis in that as well. So it must be around.
Well, everybody loves a good beat-up Nazi movie. Don't get me wrong. And so those were the best movies for Indiana Jones.
But the main storyline happens in 1969, and he is old, and he looks old. So, but there is a theory that there is a time travel aspect to this movie because there's something called the Dial of Destiny. I think that's part of the title of the movie.
It is.
And there is something about that. But I think the fact that 1969, there will be talks of the moon landing. There'll be talks about the ship, the oldest ship that was found during that time frame, sunken, that they lost for hundreds of years or whatever. So I think there's going to be some pretty cool stuff that they're going to tie into that.
Well, I have hopes, but whenever there is time travel involved, and the writers of this movie are decent writers. The danger becomes it's a crutch that they'll hang you if you're not careful. So I'm going to hope it's not corny. I hope it's Indiana Jones corny and not Crystal Skull corny. And so anyway, Go watch it, boys. I'm excited about this movie coming out. Yeah. None of the people we would like to be part of it are part of it.
Right.
So I have concerns, but I'm gonna take a high road because if not, you'll all yell at me.
No, I don't. Go ahead, Justin. I think I would agree with you. I am not optimistic about it because The Crystal Skull was one of the worst movies I've ever seen, compounded with the fact that it is Indiana Jones and they
100% agree.
completely destroyed one of my favorite movies from childhood.
100% agree.
Sometimes you just gotta leave it alone
I
and
I'm
just
with you,
leave
but
it
I'm going to take the
alone.
high road. I'm with you. I'm going to take the high road. They know they screwed that one up. The guys that wrote this, I'll have to go back and look, Ken, but they wrote some good stuff. So we'll see. But I'm agree with you. I think they should have stopped after number 3. Which, by the way, I mean,
I agree
we're
too.
not going to talk about Willow today, but let's just say didn't work out for me.
Oh, so you saw it? Okay.
Oh, I did. I did.
Well, this is a good. This is a along the same topic of leaving a franchise alone, leaving a beloved story or character alone. David Harbour, who's in Stranger Things as the hometown
Oh,
cop
yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
sheriff, he actually played Hellboy in a revamp of the Del Toro Hellboy with Ron Perlman. Before that movie came out, during production, when the fans found out about it, they went crazy and they were telling them not to do it and they were panning it. They did not want them to ruin the Del Toro
Which are brilliant,
storyline
by
and
the way.
stuff, which are fantastic. So that movie was already doomed before it began. And David Harbour actually talks about that in an interview. He said, "Look, we messed with a franchise, and we paid the price. So that's what I learned in my career thus far: is don't mess with a franchise.
Yeah, especially when you got one like that, which has a niche group. If you piss off the niche group, because Hellboy, great series, but it's not going to be mass. So you're not going to get a ton of people going to the theater to see Hellboy.
No,
Magnolia was a great artist, and a lot of people like Mike's work, but not a lot of people are going to like. So like you get that niche group, they got to show up that first week,
yeah.
right? And they got
Well,
to
they
bring their
were very
friends.
fortunate to have Del Toro on that because without him, I don't think it would have been the movie it was.
No, and I'm not a huge fan of whatever. I can't remember the guy. The guy as an individual, I don't love the guy that played Hellboy, but as a character, he does an amazing job.
That's Ron Perlman.
Perlman. Yeah, I don't love Ron Perlman as a person, but I love him as an actor.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so like that's why I think you're. I like that. It's like just we at least pay respect to it. But again, I think Indiana Jones. I'm hoping they learn their lesson, Josh. But time travel scares me. Just scares me.
I'm gonna go in very, very, very skeptical.
Didn't Ken just say it's not time? I haven't seen the trailer, so I don't know.
No,
Didn't
it does
Ken,
have time. No,
it wasn't just going back and seeing him hit different ages.
I don't. I think there's a rumor that there is an element of time travel in the movie, but the scenes that you see where Harrison Ford is de-aged are purported to be flashbacks, not a time travel aspect.
And that's okay.
Of it.
And that's okay, as long as it's not done too badly. But
from my understanding, the de-aging that's been done on this is top notch.
And again, I'm going to be optimistic. We'll wait and see, I guess. When's it coming out, Ken? Do you know?
Ooh, good question. I don't know. Let's see. June 30th of 2023. Okay, so they got plenty of time to fix any mistakes.
Yeah, well, that's true. CGI would be early at this point anyway. So if anything in the trailer looks sketchy on CGI is early, so I'm not going to worry about that. So anyway, I'm excited about hopefully we get something better than we're expecting, and then that's good. Always under promise, and over deliver, Josh. It's the way to go.
Yeah, it's just look, it's just something. It's not like Star Wars where you can branch it off and have some successes, which they did. They did have some really bad things that they did, but I feel like there have been enough things that were okay coming out of all the branches. But Indiana Jones is pretty cut and dry. Like,
by the way, I saw something. I agree with you. I agree. I mean, my wife don't mess with Indiana Jones. It's like it's.
I hear there's going to be a short round spin-off series. Is that all right? I did that just for your faces. I wanted to see the look on your faces when I said that. So
your mouth. I don't even think that would be in this political climate. I don't even think you could make something like that.
I do. Well, there's one thing about. So I was watching somebody talk about the Indiana Jones here. There's one scene from Indiana Jones, the first movie, that I'm not going to talk about here, but when you go back and look at it, it's a little disturbing. We'll talk about it when we play. But I'm like, I never remember that line now. But now when
in the very first movie,
Ken, you know what I'm talking about?
I do.
And
I do.
it's a bit. It would
Yep.
not be. It would not happen today.
I
Well,
know every
the only
line in that movie, and I can't think of it.
The only thing
It's
that
when he
that
first meets what's her name? Adrian? No, what's her name?
Marion?
Marion.
Yes.
The only thing I could say is that the film was based in what 1932 or something. So
32, 36.
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah, it was like 36, I think is
36,
what it was.
yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just
I think I know what you're talking about, but I need to clarify.
It's a little bit. It's a little bit. It wouldn't be a line they'd use today, or maybe they would. I mean, there's other stuff going on that maybe.
Well, Short Run was in the second film, so it wasn't
Right.
Marion that we're talking about. We're talking about who ended up being
Wait, are we
the
talking
director's
about
wife.
I'm talking about the first
Kate
movie.
Capshaw?
No. I'm talking about Marion.
Yeah,
I'm
Marion.
talking about
Oh,
Marion.
okay. I'm sorry. So it's unrelated to Short Run. Okay.
Yeah, we'll talk
Sorry.
about it in the. She says something to him that you're like, ooh.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that pleasant and uplifting note, let's call it a day. Let's call it an episode. Let's put this one in the can, and we'll move on. So this has been Old Guys Playing Games. I'm Ken.
I'm Stu.
I'm Jason.
Josh.
I didn't have my cheat sheet. I didn't pull up my notepad.
Oh man!
But we
Oh,
kind
man.
of did it. We got
Almost.
it, sort of.
Yeah, Stuart waited long enough to see if it was his turn or not, and then just blurted it out just in time.
I think I'm having a heart attack. Gosh, why is your wrist in the? Can you keep your wrist?
Because
on the
Because he
camera?
cannot.
Because people are texting me.
No,
Stop.
he's got more important things to do, so he keeps
No,
checking
that's
his watch.
not it at all, you boneheads.
what could I be
You all
doing
are
right
looking
now
at your
instead of
phones, I'm
this?
sure, too, during it. Don't even come down on me, okay? Especially Jason. He's the one that calls it out. He's probably been multitasking with 57 other things during this podcast.
There is nobody more multitasking.
And eating.
than Jay.
And eating.
Yeah, he's already on to something else. So, all right, we better quit before Jason completely turns off this recording on accident because he's doing something else. All right, we'll see ya. Bye.